what's the catch? Quick little bank tip for you guys that like to fish your do-nothing lakes, your farm lakes, the shallow lakes with no structure other than the banks. What you do is concentrate on the banks. Find the obvious things that stick out. That's what you want. Find the deepest part of those lakes, the dam area, the area where they let run out and water run off and go at other places. Those are generally your deepest areas of the lake. That's what you want to find, those areas. Also, another sneaky tip, find rainwater runoff. Anywhere there's street runoff, anytime there's rain runoff, anywhere there's some kind of moving water mostly in the summertime months, but anytime there's moving water, that creates aeration and better oxygen levels, because farm lakes and ponds generally are murky. They're generally not very high in oxygen level. And but the good thing about fishing those farm lakes and those shallow lakes is that the bass are at your feet. They're at your feet, they're big, and you have a good opportunity to catch good fish. And those are my tips for the bank. That's how you stay and target really big fish. Never go when it's beautiful and sunny unless you're going early in the morning or late in the afternoon. Right now it's nice and sunny, no cloud, but you want to be here early and afternoon, but you need a variable as well. I like wind. High winds, great. That brings the bait fish up, makes them more active, and the bigger fish will bite. But generally speaking, your shallower lakes, most of the bass are going to be on the shoreline. So just look for obvious things that stick out, and those big bass will hold those obvious points. And like I said, my secret tip on big fish is actually coming to these lakes after the rain and finding rainwater runoff that creates oxygen, aeration. Water running off in the water creates bubbles, and generally the bigger bass will find those areas. So anyway, let's go catch some fish. Let's take a couple minutes and a couple casts. Boom! That's what I'm talking about, baby. Bank tanks. Fishing your do-nothing lakes. You always look for a little bit of something to stand out. Most of these do-nothing lakes, they have no structure in the middle, so most of these bass are right up on the banks, and they're ready to feast. They're ready to gorge. Let's see how big this girl is. What do we got here? 5 on the dot. 5 pounds on the dot. Not a 6-pounder. She's a football though. She's definitely a football. Let's let the girl go, right? Sheesh. So, guys, like I said, not the biggest fish right here, but just along the shoreline, casting along the shoreline. Most of these fish are gonna be right on the bank in these do-nothing lakes. bad. All right, guys. Now, I don't know if I went ahead and pulled that off the structure there, but obviously there's an obvious piece of structure there. Not a bad fish, not what we're looking for. But, you know, what's the catch? The catch is, for these do-nothing lakes, these farm lakes, you urban city lakes, you cement anglers, your bank is your best friend. You just want to find the obvious things along the banks. First, what I'm going to be looking for is I'm going to be looking for your deepest parts of the lake first. I'm going to be looking for storm drains and areas where they have water, street runoff from the city, from the street. Those areas are going to be a little bit deeper. Also, those street runoff and dam areas where water starts moving, those are key areas to be at in the summer. In the summer, that's moving water, and that's higher oxygen levels. That's like better oxygen levels. Also, you know, when you're fishing these places, you don't generally have to cast out in the middle. Most of they're do-nothing lakes, so everything is on the bank. These fish, they tend to come to the bank, and you can find these big fish at your feet. That's the blessing of having these farm bodies. The big fish are at your feet generally. So look for the deep water. Look for obvious things that stick out from the bank. If there's a dock, if there's a rock, if there's certain logs, whatever changes the bank, that's an obvious place. Those bass will be on that obvious area, that obvious structure, trust me. And these small bodies of waters, you'll find a pattern. You'll find that you'll catch that same fish more than once, or more big fish more often in your body of water. Another quick little bonus tip for you guys as well, you know, any farm, small acreage lake, also you urban fishermen, check this fish out from Central Park. Okay, now I was in the city, my wife had a little dealt with something, God bless, everything is okay, what I did is I brought a little something from back home into the city. I had 2 hours, so I went and fished Central Park for 2 hours. I knew that it rained 2 days before, so I said to myself, let me look for rain water runoff. Let me look for some water that's running from the stones, rocks, whatever, even if it's street runoff, okay? When you're fishing these small bodies of water, they're shallow, they're generally murky, stagnant, puke green. There's not good oxygen levels. So guess what? After the rain, fish these lakes because they'll start to jump a little bit. The rain itself creates aeration, but the rain runoff from the street hitting the same spot over and over and over and over again, it's like a fish tank creating bubbles, right? It's gonna bring the oxygen level up in that little small area up, and then those bigger bass will find that area within 2 or 3 days. It might not be that day, but 2 or 3 days. If you fish that area, if you go to the lake knowing these things, you know, not knowing the lake, no electronics, you know, you can apply this for the boat and from the bank without electronics. You're gonna fish a shallow body lake. You're gonna look for your deepest areas first. You're gonna look for obvious things that stick out, and then look for rain runoff areas. Even if it hasn't been raining for a couple weeks, that rain runoff area, they will come, those big fish will come there. They will do their laps. They will find that space. They will stay there, and that'll be a small little haunt for them, and they will ambush baits from that area, and you will catch more big fish than not applying these methods to your small bodies of water. You know, they have a pattern, and you can easily get on the pattern. You know, get out there, fish hard. What's the catch? Like, subscribe, check out the YouTube channel, and you know, cool.